What's up, nerds? I am Xavier with Ebony Warrior Studios, and welcome to today's episode of the podcast. We will be talking about family vloggers
So
because,
we are redirecting our podcast, and this is now going to be a family vlogging podcast where
yeah,
we give unsolicited parenting advice
yes,
to the masses.
yes. Unfortunately, Sydney's mic is not working today, so she's in studio with me. So,
I get to be an actual ghost now.
yes, like an
Oh,
actual ghost over my shoulder. So it's going to be
this is
great.
fun.
But yeah, today's episode is about family vlogging, and let's hop on into it. Hi, Desiree. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't do any good.
I
True.
mean, essentially, what we're going to be doing is complaining about family vloggers, though.
Yes,
Right.
So
I hate
there
family
there
vloggers.
is a complaint to be had.
I hate family vloggers so much.
Same.
I cannot begin to explain to you how much I hate them because, in the grand scheme of things, children,
Side of my face.
your children can't consent. They cannot consent to you using them for content and using them to make money. That's my biggest gripe with family vloggers. It's the fact that you use your children without asking them. You know, like you go like I've seen several accounts who are former, like family vlogging kids, and they talk about how their boundaries were crossed over and over again. And actually, I just followed this one girl who is she's the daughter of a preacher, like a megachurch pastor, and she's agnostic, like no longer in the church, and talks about, the messed up stuff that her dad did to her and her sister when she was younger, like using them as examples in the pulpit, even though she set
Oh,
boundaries.
God.
Yeah, she set boundaries with her dad, like saying, please don't do this. And he didn't listen. And he still does it to this day. Like she pulls up clips from his church, his megachurch, and him still talking about his daughters, even though he, the boundary was set. So yeah, I mean, that's the main thing for me. It's boundaries.
Well,
I
I
don't.
mean, it's boundaries, but it's also essentially just child labor.
Yes.
And it goes back to, trying to get free labor out of children.
Mhm.
There is no difference than sending your child to the mines
Right.
because you're just getting cheap or free labor out of them. There's a reason there are child labor laws, and then our laws just haven't caught up yet to include family vlogging.
Yes.
There is no excuse for, well, if you're putting money into an account for them. No, it just needs to be downright illegal because it is work.
Uh-huh.
Content creation is work. Putting children in content creation is work. It's supposed to be illegal.
Yeah, there was a new law that came into effect in California recently that says that any money that family vloggers make, um, you know, using their kids, they have to set aside, I think it's 30% of the money that they make in a trust fund for their kids. And family vlogging accounts were the families were moving in droves out of California. Does that sound ethical to you? Like they're doing this ethically? If someone says, hey, you have to pay your kids and you do everything in your power, spending all this extra money to move to another state, does that sound like you're doing this ethically? Does that sound like you have your children's best interest in mind?
Not at all. It's
No.
it's it's literal exploitation. And no one
Yeah.
thinks about the psychological harm, the long-term psychological harm and safety risks around, exposing your children online, given that there's a bunch of weirdos and freaks who get off to, children. It's no one's thinking about their safety.
Speaking of the weirdos and freaks, there
Oh,
was
there's so many.
the one family vlogging account. I mean, I think a lot of people know this account, but it's the one that really like very much opened my eyes to how horrible these family vlogger parents are. There was this little girl. She was 3 years old. Rin Eleanor
Oh
on TikTok.
no.
She had like 16, 17 million followers. And her mom was running her account.
This is
And it was dark.
disgusting.
It was dark shit. So her mom was running the account, right? And um her mom, not only does she have an Amazon wish list on this account, which had like really fucked up stuff in it. Like you could buy Rin outfits that she could try on. And it was like little kid, almost lingerie type stuff.
It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
And then there was the mom running the account had Rin doing suggestive content, which was making hella money because the people that were primarily interacting with this content were grown ass men.
Mhm.
So she had Rin eating hot dogs, corn on the cob,
I think it was like frozen honey at that point. It was
had her doing suggestive or eating things that were phallic in nature. Like it would absolute like the mom should be in prison. Ren's mom should be in prison.
There were, I'm trying to remember what the documentary was that I saw where it essentially showed like kid vloggers, kid influencers essentially, and this one mom of a kid influencer who was like letting some stranger online buy her preteen daughter like expensive items in exchange for like suggestive videos.
Yep.
And it's like you're at what point do we just start calling these moms pimps?
Yeah. Because like your priority as a parent is supposed to be protecting your child.
Mm-hmm.
Not like not necessarily making sure that they can't go out and see the world, but in this instance, protecting your child, being the shield against predators. You're literally putting your child on the internet to make money off of predators.
Yeah.
It does in
From
no way,
predators.
in no way, shape, or form is that like ethical or okay in any stretch of the imagination.
No, I mean it's actual. I said it. It's actual sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It is sex trafficking
Yeah.
to a T.
And then people will argue up and down. Well, I'm not actually sending my child out to do anything. They're not actually doing it.
You know who these people are.
Yeah, you know who they are. You know who's interacting with your content.
You know what they want.
You know exactly what they want. And you're perfectly fine taking the money in exchange for your child being exploited. And then the internet's forever. The internet is forever. And dark web shit, that stuff is saved, archived. It's going to be there forever.
And we can't even begin to start, like, underscore how evil it is in the age of AI.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, because now they just need a picture of a face.
Yep.
And they can create something suggestive. There was literally a case where this was a teenager who got his shit wrecked by his ex-girlfriend because he took her face and created nude photos with AI.
There was a girl who was just suspended.
That's the same thing I was talking
that's
about.
what. Yeah, she was expelled
because she went up and she dropped that kid's shit.
Yeah.
For creating AI-generated nude photos of her.
Yeah, she was defending herself.
Yes.
Because he created pornography using AI, but she got in trouble.
Yeah, and it's fucked. But that just goes back to underscore. There are people who can do that with AI, just with a picture of your face.
Yeah.
That fucking creeps out there on the internet are doing this to children.
Mm-hmm.
We already know this. There's no excuse for you to continue to put your child out on the internet.
Nah, I mean, that's like, I separate them like the family vloggers into like categories. So
Hmm.
you have like trad wife sort of family vloggers, and that those are I kind of intertwine those with just the Christian family vloggers because they all have sort of the same mentality. It's like, let me film everything about everyday life of me and my kids, not give them a lick of privacy, and it's all about kids, 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 more kids, more kids, more kids. It's like the Quiverful sort of
Yeah.
families, having as many kids as you possibly can. And don't even get me started on how irresponsible that shit is.
Oh,
Mm.
Because
that's a
was
whole.
it on the podcast that I talked about that, or was that on a in a video on
I
Instagram?
think it may have been a video on Instagram,
Okay,
but
Might
yeah,
have been
no,
so
I mean,
Instagram.
essentially these quiverful families basically having all these kids, and then the kids have to raise the other
yeah, because
kids.
once you get past a certain point, like 3 or 4 kids, there's no way on earth that you as a parent, even if you have two parents, that you're able to give those children the equal amount of time that they deserve. None.
Yep.
I don't give a damn what you say. Once you get past that threshold, you're doing it for you. It's not for the kids. You're
Yeah.
doing it for what? For yourself, for your ego, for
Hmm.
like it's irresponsible because those kids are going to have to raise the other kids. You're going to put that on the other kids. And story after story from
Oh yeah,
there are people who grew up in families like that talking about how they weren't seen, number one, and they
they
essentially were the
became
parent.
parents.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were the parent before, well before their time of whether they decided to be a parent.
yeah. I mean, we have two, and that's already hard.
Right.
And we're able to do it, you know. But there are definitely times where I feel like, man, I feel like we didn't give, our oldest enough attention because we had to, deal with the baby. You know
Right.
what I mean? And it's just like one of those things where it's like you keep adding kids onto that. It's like the Duggar system.
Mm-hmm.
The Duggars had this whole quote unquote buddy system where, okay, well, I've got the baby, and now the older kids get 2 or 3 of the younger ones to help me with them. And it's like you're making them be parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, like before the advent of social media, the Duggars were just on TLC.
Yep. What was how many siblings did Kevin have in Home Alone? Because I feel like that situation could have been prevented if there weren't. I know that it was cousins. I know that it was the whole bunch of cousins.
Yeah,
But I
but
want
no,
to.
I think there
I
were close to 10 siblings.
no. I think Kevin. So Buzz is his. I know he had. I know Kevin had at least Buzz, and then I think there were 2 others. Right. And this is perfect because we're in the crime. It's Mary Chrysler season.
Hang on.
But
Okay, hang on.
that
Oh, he has 4 older siblings.
there we
Okay.
go. But to
Yeah.
see that
Okay.
that
Yeah.
was irresponsible in and of itself because you not only do you have 5 kids, but then you have a whole bunch of other cousin kids, and the parents are not. The, you have that's the whole premise of the movie. You have the older kid taking inventory of the younger kids.
And then you missed one.
Yes, taking inventory of the younger kids and then taking the older child's word for it and going to the airport without your child.
Yeah. And it's like it's meant to be funny and cute and haha, but I mean it's meant to show you like that's how unfeasible it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're counting on a child to be the adult when you're the adult.
Yep.
Hmm.
And then you can't be mad at that child for making a mistake.
Yeah.
Like you can't be mad at that child. It's not what were they supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a lot of times you will see that with those family vloggers. Like, not only is it like there's no privacy,
Yeah.
but you will see the discipline that they do
Oh.
on in real
Mhm.
time. Like they'll record it and then they record the children are not able to express themselves from the privacy of their home. They are being recorded by their parents, which exacerbates the situation. It creates better content because you get more, it's
Yeah.
like oh wow, look at the child screaming and crying. But that is traumatizing the kids.
And it's not just that. When you see a lot of these family vloggers, and you'll get content of the kids who are acting out,
Yeah.
misbehaving, and I cannot remember the name of the creator on Instagram who saw this, but he made such a good point. He's a black man. He does like early childhood development and all
Oh,
that.
Indomitable Black Man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I wanted to make sure. But he was saying, he's like, the child is seeking connection.
Right.
And you're not giving that child connection. You're just recording them. That's making the situation worse. You need to connect with the child to address the issue that's happening.
Yeah, literally sitting there recording the child, and you think this is connection. I'm going to ask the child questions while I have the camera in their face. What did you do wrong? Are you going to do that again? Why are we screaming? That's not helping.
No,
Mhm.
put the fucking camera down.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then, like, what sets me off is, like, it's not real.
It's not.
You're bringing a camera and setting up a camera everywhere you go. Every corner of the house, there's a new angle for, get ready with me while I get the kids ready for. It's not realistic, and it also sets an unrealistic standard because it's like this is our morning. You have 17 billion kids, and you're getting all their lunches ready, getting them off to school on time, while
Bullshit.
also setting up a camera at every angle. Don't play in my face.
Yeah. How are you
Don't play in
raising
my
the
face.
kids though, too? I mean,
Yeah.
if you're
But the
always,
thing is you're not.
yeah.
Because,
No, I do agree with that.
like,
How are you raising the kids, and you're doing all this, and you're running a social media account, doing all this editing, and where your kids fall into that?
yeah.
You can't tell me that your kids are a priority when you're making money off of them like that.
Yeah. And the
And
sad
what was
thing
it?
about it is there's a lack of regulation around family vlogging.
Yep.
The way that there is
Yep.
more regulation as far as like children in the entertainment business.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
have little laws here and there with family vlogging, but it's not enough to protect the safety and well-being of of the children, you know. So that's the
Right, and
sad
that's
part.
why that law in California, I can't remember what it's called right now,
I just
was
had it.
very, I guess, revolutionary.
I mean, it
But the
was
fact
the
that
very
it's
first,
only
you know what I
right,
mean?
but the fact that it's only in California meant all the family vloggers could scatter like roaches to other states.
Yeah.
SB 764 and AB 1880.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they primarily went to Tennessee, and here's the thing: it's because there are P3DOs
yeah,
in upper levels of government that they aren't incentivized to actually create laws that are going to be protecting children.
nope. And as much as the United States, you know how politicians here love deflecting about, they love using Islam as a deflection. What about child marriage and whatnot? Even though
There's
like
not a single state has a legal age for marriage
yeah,
that is 18 years old.
yeah,
Not a single state sets the marriage requirement for 18 years old, and there are active states that are trying to lower it.
yeah.
Get out of our fucking faces about other countries and their child marriages until you fix the ones that are going on here.
Every
Because that's how
Was it
rapists.
every
Mhm.
something is a admission, or every accusation is an admission.
Yes.
There we go.
Very good.
Every time.
Every single time. And that's how they get out of the statutory, not even statutory, that's how they get out of the grave cases.
Yeah,
That's how they get out of it. Well, I can just marry them.
yeah.
And all you gotta
Oh,
do is
man.
go to the judge. The parent is like, yeah, this is fine, and then they can get married. And then they can't even get divorced until they're adults.
I don't think I've told you all this story. Okay.
Oh no. Okay.
Now
Here we are.
this shit. It's not a family vlogger, but it falls in line with that the marriage thing, right? So you remember we graduated high school, and it was like we left. We're gone. We don't really we hear news here and there about our old high school, but we're out of high school. We're not worried about our high school, right? And then you had those people who graduated high school, and that was their entire personality, and they kept coming back, like being weird, like that shit was weird, right? So I was in junior ROTC when I was in high school, right?
Oh, I know the story.
And there were former cadets who would come back and help with the program after they had graduated, right? And so they would help with like drill team and things like that, competition stuff, you know. So there were several people who came back. They were a year, no, Were they a year younger than me or 2 years? If I remember correctly, I think they were like 2 years younger than me, right? But at this time, they're in their 20s. They're like 24 the time of this story, right? So several years out of high school, and they're still going back to help with the program. And so those former cadets would go on trips to help with the drill team and stuff like that, right? Well, this one guy, Jesse Scott, was having a relationship with one of the students. Mans is 24. This student is a freshman when this first started. She's like 14 or 15. Yeah, yeah. And so they're having a relationship over time. And at one point, um, they had gone on a drill team trip. And Jesse, um, there's two people that are like the main ones in the story. There's Jesse Scott, and then there's Natalie Carter. Natalie Carter is his best friend. Like they'd been best friends since high school, like all the way through. And she's still, helping with the drill team and whatnot. So they were actually on this trip. They were in the same room, chaperones. They're chaperones, and they're staying in a room together as chaperones, right? Natalie Carter is supposed to be a chaperone. Scott also supposed to be a chaperone. Scott brings this girl back to his room as a chaperone. Natalie Carter is in the room, sees this, sees him bringing this child into the room. And what does Natalie Carter do? Not fuck nothing. Literally leaves the room. Leaves the room. Scott gets this girl pregnant, right? And it's like, oh shit, right? The parents are wanting to press charges. Like they're wanting to burn the shit down. And leadership in the junior ROTC program, Natalie Carter, Scott, and all them come together, and they're basically like begging the parents, please, please don't do this. Like, what if Scott and this girl get married? And they yes, it's crazy. They convinced the parents not to do anything. Scott and this girl get married, and they are still married to this day. Like I had at one point found their like Instagram page, but they're still married to this day because I know that man not gonna let go. The second you get out of that, you going to jail. you stuck. you going to jail. You
That
should
is
be in jail.
nuts. Oh my
It's
God.
insane. It's insane. Like they don't allow the, like they shut everything down as far as like, the chaperones on trips and stuff after this came out. Because one of the instructors basically had to throw himself under the bus to save Scott. He didn't have to do that, but he did it. And it's kind of like you're defending a pedophile, bro. But yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, it goes back to that whole, he's just a good old Christian boy. And it drives me up a wall because Christianity is just used as the deflection point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't possibly hurt this Christian man. What did he do? And she's such a harlot for sleeping with him.
Yeah, he's a child. No, Mans is 24.
Yeah.
He's 24.
He's a full-ass adult.
A full-ass adult going back to high school and fucking around with kids.
And this is why I say, like, where is the line between, especially going back to the family vloggers, like, between, and the fact that there's, like, no age of, legal restrictions on marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the line between that and sex trafficking?
Yeah, and that it keeps coming back to the, there needs to be more regulation, but things have moved so fast when it comes to content creation that it's and
light speed.
At light speed, and you have politicians who don't want to do fuck all because they are also in that world.
They're in that world, but not only that, they're in that world, or they're too old to fucking understand what's happening.
Oh yeah, too old to even understand that they're alive.
Yeah, that they're barely alive, much
Mitch
less
McConnell
actually understand content creation. oh, they're just posting on the social media. That's perfectly fine. That's what kids do.
Yeah.
Not take into account that it's actual work.
Uh-huh.
That's why we need some of this younger generation in there, because they know what goes into content creation. They
Yeah.
know that it's actual work.
Yeah. Mental, emotional, and physical labor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was the quiverful families. I know that was one of the categories.
And
And then the black folks also. There's a lot of black folks who do family vlogging, and it pisses me off in the like there are people who make being interracial families their entire personality, and that drives me up a goddamn wall because it's all that exploitation. But then you're fetishizing your kids.
Because they're mixed.
Yeah, there's this one family. Can't remember their name because again, they're not important enough to have names. This is one family.
We're not giving names to.
It's it's a white mom, black dad, and then they have like I want it's like 10. They have like 10 kids, and they still having kids, and it's like their entire personalities being being interracial and having kids with curly hair and light skin and whatnot. It falling into that emotional labor.
The emotional labor cannot be like, there's no way to overstate it or understate it. Like, it needs to be said, like, it takes a toll having a camera shoved in your face all the time. I was not quite a family vlogger because Facebook was only just starting to get big as I became a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
But my mother was always taking fucking photos of us, and then it was always going on to Facebook. It was the most irritating shit in the world. I remember when I was doing the martial arts competitions, right? And there was a point where it felt like the only reason she was engaging with it was because she wanted to post about it on
content,
Facebook.
so she could get content. Yeah,
and that's the thing about it, is it feeds your little dopamine receptors.
Mm-hmm.
Because kids will generate content because of all the creepy things that we've just discussed, and then you get the likes and the shares and the comments, and then that feeds your little dopamine receptors. So then I gotta generate more.
Yep.
And
it's an addiction. It's like a drug addiction. And then the other thing that goes in line with that for you have biracial kids, they're black kids who are having to deal with this. They're going to have to unpack all that when they get older. Is that it's like a special thing having to deal with that when you're black, being fetishized like that, and then you have to come to grips with all of that, dealing with your place in a country that either treats you like you're a black person or treats you like you're not black enough, and it's all these all these things that are exacerbated by the way that
you have by having any blackness in you is because you get the light skin and you get the fetishized, essentially.
Yeah, and they have to deal with all of that because their parents couldn't be mature enough to essentially talk to them, or deal with them like they're kids, like they're human beings, true. Yeah, they wanted to treat them like they're a meal ticket and create content using them, and I can't stand it. It's already the issues of just a non-family vlogging, biracial family making that their whole personality, but then you put it on the internet, and those kids, they can't consent. Those kids cannot decide that they want to do this, and they're not deciding that they want to do it.
There are family vloggers who will be like, no, they want to do this because that's all they know.
Yeah.
And
it's like brainwashing.
It's brainwashing, but not only that, kids inherently want to do the things that their parents are doing.
Right.
And that's not acceptable for you to be like, oh, well, Of course. See, that means they want to do it. No, they don't understand.
That's
They don't have the brain development to understand that the internet is permanent.
and
That,
that's where you as a parent are supposed to be that guide.
yes.
Like your children may want to do it, but you're supposed to step in and say, this is not appropriate for you. This is
Hmm.
not appropriate for your age. It is not what's in the best interest for your development. That's where you're supposed to be the parent in that situation.
Yeah,
But I
it's them
feel like a
turning a
lot of
blind
these,
eye to it's them turning a blind eye to the responsibility of being a parent, and that's why I'll keep saying this until the end of time. Not everyone deserves to be a parent.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I've been talking about this a lot over the past few years, but it's like everybody wants to be best friends with their kids.
I
You
hate
can't be
that.
best friends with your kids. They're not your friends. And I'm not saying be mean to your kids. I'm not saying treat your kids like they're
Don't
less than.
don't have fun with your
Yeah,
kids. Like that's not the
that's not the
point.
point. The point is not is that your children are not your friends. You are the adult in this situation. You are their parent, the person that is raising them. You that this I gotta be friends with my kid thing leads to so many situations where I gotta be the cool one. I gotta, I want my kid to like me. I want my
And then
kid.
these kids grow up without boundaries.
Yes, no boundaries whatsoever.
And then they become entitled little assholes. Like, you are a parent first, you are the authority figure first because they need to look to you to guide them, and that is how they are going to feel safe
Mhm.
and seen. That is how they know, oh, if I fuck up, I can go to this person because they will help me.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you are their friend, they're going to be more concerned about whether or not they thought, you know, oh,
You
they're going to
thought it
think
was
I'm
cool, or
uncool, or
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They need to be able to come to you in any given situation, and they're not gonna like unless this is, I know some people have those friends that they go to when it comes to, like a life or death situation. But most times, who are you calling out to when things are dire? Mom.
Right. It's
Yeah.
mom.
Calling out for mom or
Mhm.
dad.
And also, like, they need to know that, they need to know that this is an older person who probably has the experience that will actually help me versus your friend is probably just as fucking stupid.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, you can probably go to them for moral support, but if it's an actual, like, oh shit, I need an adult for this kind of situation,
Yeah.
you can't go to your friends for that. Kids need adults to know that they can have somewhere safe
Yep.
and anchor to go to. And you, as a parent, are supposed to be that. If you're trying to be your kid's friend, you've failed them in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, raise your kids.
And this
Raise
is,
your kids before society does it for you. And which they will,
Oh,
because you have
yes.
until the age of 9 to really make a big influence in your child's life. And I think a
that.
lot of parents
Yeah.
forget that. You have until the age of 9. After that, society takes a hold of them.
Yep.
Hmm.
Because as soon as that's one of the reasons. I mean, I hate family vloggers, but I hate social media and its influence on kids because I know that we had our issues when we were growing up. It was different things than what it is now. But social media is scarily toxic and poisonous to
So
kids,
bad.
and they're getting on there younger and younger. And they once they get like you said, age 9, they're approaching like that fifth grade and middle school range. They it's everything is about the trends, and I mean
Hmm.
literally as harmless as it is. Look at what 6-7 does to kids.
I mean, they obsess over it.
Yeah,
And that's the thing of like, that's what kids do.
yeah.
They find something funny or contrarian, and then they like
It's
hone
all
in on
about,
it.
yeah. It's like that
And it,
groupthink mentality when it comes
yes.
to kids. We all they want to fit in with the other kids, and again, this is because they don't have that emotional intelligence or that frontal lobe development to think for themselves outside the context of their peers.
Hmm.
Once it's like, us, we hit 30, it was like, I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. I want to be comfortable with myself. I want to be
Honestly.
comfortable with me. I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. Kids can't think like that. And I think a lot of times we as adults forget that because we're like, why the hell are they doing stupid shit? No, it's genuinely like that peer pressure stuff works
works
hardcore.
hardcore, and we take for granted that how soon it happens. We always think peer pressure is teenage shit. Like, no, it does happen early on.
Yeah.
And it's bringing it back to family vlogging and what Desiree was saying about, like, you have until age 9 and then society starts raising. If you are a family vlogger, you're letting social media raise your kids for you.
Yeah.
And again, we kept saying it over and over and over again. There are damn P3 videos on there,
Uh-huh.
and they want to groom your child.
Those mother and daughter accounts,
Piss me off.
like you have the mom and the daughter doing like makeup and things together, and this is a child that should be nowhere near makeup at this point, right? I see those all the time, and then the moms will have the set them up to do get ready with me's. They're in like the third grade, third or fourth grade, doing get ready with me's with all this makeup.
Yeah.
And the mom is running the account.
And it's to make a distinction, it's makeup for vanity's sake.
Right.
Because makeup can be an art form.
Yeah.
And if a child shows an interest in that at an early age as an artistic expression, I think that should be encouraged.
Mhm.
But when you're doing it for vanity's sake, like, oh, look, we're getting ready.
We're going to Sephora.
We're going to Sephora. And it's like, no. Like, start with the foundation of teaching your kids that their natural beauty is perfect the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to change anything. So that way they understand that makeup is fun and creative and artistic.
That's the other thing about family vlogging. It really does, like I did say that earlier, it creates those unhealthy standards about certain things in family life.
About making everything an aesthetic.
It makes everything aesthetic, makes it seem like everything is a piece of cake.
It's perfect.
The family vlogger moms who, I just had a baby, and 2 weeks after having the baby,
look, my stomach's all flat now.
I'm all flat, and I'm running again. I'm like going full bore, and that's not the reality.
It's
for
not reality.
many.
And it's like that's some shit that fucks with me after having, Ellie, and I'm just sitting here, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm supposed to bounce back, and I have to physically tell myself it's not real.
Yeah.
Like, it's not real. I think of that one trad wife who's biracial. Are you? She makes all that weird.
Zara? No.
Nara.
Nara Smith.
That one, and she was like, I just had my baby, tummy flat, and I'm like,
yeah,
bullshit.
Nara pisses me off. Nara pisses me off
with
so
the head
bad.
tilt and then the the soft spokenness, and I'm just like,
that
get bent.
That pisses me off for the fact that it's a family vlogger, but also
it's
it's trad wife, but the whispering thing is almost like ASMR, and it makes me want to punch someone. I hate it when people whisper into the mic. That speak up.
Makes it so much worse.
I'm gonna fight you. Speak up.
But then that's another category of family vloggers that I think you were getting to, is the rich ones.
Yeah.
Where
the wealthy.
Look at what I'm doing. I'm making cereal from scratch because I have the time, because a nanny is taking care of the kids.
Exactly. I have all these kids, but I got time to grow the ingredients from scratch to make the chocolate brownies for my husband who was craving it. He's craving chocolate brownies, but it's going to take me an entire week to make those chocolate brownies.
Because I have to grow it from scratch. And I have to find just the right vanilla beans.
Yeah.
To actually make it. And meanwhile, there's a nanny and a house cleaner and a chef in the background who is making your career as a content creator possible.
Yep. There's another girl who copies.
That's another thing I need to just say real fast before you go into that. These are career women.
Yeah.
These are career women. They're not trad wives. They are career women who are building careers on content creation.
Yep.
Trad wives, if we're going into the true definition of what a trad wife is, doesn't have a career, isn't making money, because their sole purpose is to stay at home, birth kids and raise kids, and then serve the husband.
Yep.
These women who are trad wives for content, they are career women. They are business women.
Erica Kirk.
That's a whole other story, but we're going to save that for another podcast. But what you were saying about the woman who basically parodies Nara Smith,
Yeah, so there's a white woman that parodies Nara Smith, and I feel like she's serious. She just steals Nara Smith's aesthetic, but she's the wife of the heir of like an airline.
No, that's Ballerina Farms.
Is that Ballerina
That's
Farms?
Ballerina Farms, and it's not that she's trying to steal Nara Smith's thing. She's her whole other niche because she's Mormon. Actually, I don't know if Nara Smith is Mormon too, but that Ballerina Farms is a whole other thing because the reason she's Ballerina Farms is because she was a ballerina. She was going
That's
to
what it was.
Juilliard.
Yeah.
She was
yeah.
going
and
to
she
Juilliard.
threw it all away
She-
essentially.
Because the heir to an airline for JetBlue wouldn't leave her the fuck alone. He followed her relentlessly, and she left Juilliard and her career as a ballerina to be a trad wife. And you can see it in her face sometimes where she's dissociating of like, oh, I've got all these kids. And you'll see her videos where she actually does ballet on the farm. You can tell she misses it.
But hey.
But she got all these kids and she's got her husband. The egg apron video.
Yeah.
The egg apron video. She got her anniversary present from her husband and it wasn't even wrapped. It was in the fucking Amazon package or whatever, and he hands it to her. Here's your anniversary present, honey. And she's like, "Oh, what is it? Is it tickets?"
An apron.
What she was asking. Oh, I hope it's tickets to Greece because she wanted to go on a vacation away from her fucking kids. Opens it up. It's the egg apron. You can see on her face. And here's what people pointed out. I'm pretty sure she's the one who ordered that.
And he just grabbed it off the porch and gave it to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
And then filmed it.
I remember.
This woman,
Divorce.
And then there was a journalist, I can't remember who did it, who wrote up an article and was just very blunt about it. And then she was like, had to go and like defend her husband. It's like, babes, we can see you're miserable.
Mm-hmm.
We can see it on your face. You were pissed about the egg apron. We can see you dissociating when you got kids crawling all over you.
But it's, like in those situations, it's like I feel like empathy, the sympathy for them, but at the same time, I don't feel like
it's a
bad.
matter of like
It's like Serena Joy.
Yes, where it's like you are clearly brainwashed by the system, but at the same time you're a fucking adult.
Yeah.
And you are perpetuating harm against people who don't want this.
Yeah. Like does it suck? Yeah. But you keep stepping on the rake intentionally. Like everybody's
not even stepping on the rake. You're basically stepping on the rake, but you're ducking away and letting somebody else get fucking smacked with it.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. And that's what pisses me off about these people, because Andrea Dworkin makes a good point about right-wing women. And this is these trad wife family vloggers. They're doing it out of survival at some point.
Right.
Because they think if I do this, then I won't be susceptible to violence. That's essentially what it comes down to.
Yeah. I will.
Without realizing that
the table of patriarchy and white supremacy, I'll take the crumbs off the table because in the long run, I'm still doing better than those black and brown people over there.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're all male-centered too. That's another thing I want to point out. They're male-centered, and that's why I stay away from male-centered women. I can't. They're just as dangerous. Just as dangerous.
But you see that in the family vlogging arena too, how many of them focus on when the focus is on their kids, they will put more focus on their little boys than they do their little girls.
Oh no, are we talking about boy moms?
Boy moms.
Are we talking about boy moms? I can't stand these incestuous boy moms.
Boy mom family vloggers. Holy shit.
And the ones that have daughters too that lean into being boy moms.
Uh-huh.
There's one TikTok boy mom who like leans into it for the rage baiting. Like, I'm a toxic boy mom, shoves her girls to the side so she can create like literally a video of her shoving her girls to the side to give her boy a bowl of candy or something. And I'm like,
and like even if it's a joke, it's not funny.
Because you've created that subliminal message in their head.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how many times you tell those girls and that boy, it's just a joke.
And you can't tell me
the message is already there.
You can't tell me with how many people have social media that their classmates are not seeing these things.
And that they're not getting clowned for it.
Exactly.
That they're
that again, that goes into how peer pressure works. Social influence. Mm-hmm. These kids are seeing the other kids' content, clowning other kids for their content. It's not, you are creating an environment that's not healthy. And I'm not saying that, it's necessarily your fault that other kids are going to bully them or whatever. It's
your responsibility to be aware that can happen.
Yeah. You're not helping the situation at all by putting your kids into content that will then be viewed by classmates and whatnot. And I mean, school counselors will sit there and tell you that, hey, this is probably not a good idea to be posting about your kids. And they don't care because it's making them a buck.
And that's another thing that brings me to, there are family vloggers out there who are actually just trying to make a buck because they see it as a way out of poverty.
Right.
Like the ones who are just trying to get out of poverty. Because that's what capitalism does. It's like, well, I can create a family vlogging account because it gets so much money.
Right. And even in those situations, it's still not ethical because your kids can't consent. It's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place. You want to get out of poverty, but at the same time, you're using unethical means to get out of poverty. You're using exploitation to get out of poverty. It's like, people who are now millionaires and billionaires. Oh, well, I used to be poor. You still exploited people to get to that place. There is no such thing as an ethical billionaire. You used someone else as a stepping stone to get to that place. And your kids are that stepping stone in this instance. Your kids don't get to make that decision, and they have to deal with those consequences later in life. You are already old. You lived your life as a kid. It's like there's a difference between living life as an adult and living life as a kid. There's a whole bunch of things that happen that will shape your, who you are as a person. Not to say that you can't change when you're an adult, but those formative years are important for you, who you are as a person, for your self-esteem, for everything. And you creating a more difficult situation for your kid, that's not helping it. That's not helping them at all.
And no one thinks about the consequences of this whole thing too. And a lot of the consequences have been, people stalking these children as they're going to school. A lot of the times they may not have their parent there protecting them immediately as they're going to school. So they have to deal with this person who's literally stalking them. I think there was one child who was a part of the whole, family vlogging thing. I believe they said they were walking home from school and there was this guy just following them. They had to literally run inside the house. And it was just them alone. There was no adult with them. So, it could have been really, really bad.
And that's the thing. People can figure out where you live.
Yeah. Oh, God. How easy that is.
People can figure out where you live. All you need is one fucking creep to get obsessed and is determined and knows how to use a fucking computer.
And I mean, literally saw that happen after getting doxxed because of the Charlie Kirk thing.
Yeah.
People, making phone calls saying that they know where I live and whatnot. And that's just for the Charlie Kirk shit. Men don't know when to take no for an answer. And you think putting your daughters online, and I'm not saying this doesn't happen to little boys too, but you think putting your daughters online...
It's especially pervasive against little girls.
Yeah. You putting them online, having Amazon wish list, being in contact with these people, making requests and things like that. You don't think that these people are not trying to figure out
where you live,
where you are, or how they can get a little closer to your daughter? People are unhinged.
And that's why I keep saying, where's the line between you being a family vlogger and a sex trafficker?
There is no line.
It's becoming, if there is a line, it is becoming as thin as my fucking hair.
Oh, the other type of family vloggers
that was funny, and I appreciate you ignoring it. But yes, we can laugh. My hair is thin.
It's thin.
There's a lot of it.
It's not falling out. It's just thin white people hair. But anyways, As I was saying, the other type of family vloggers that I was gonna get to, adopt the ones that adopt
Oh, the
kids.
adopteds.
Holy shit! There is this one family vlogger account where they adopted a younger black
Oh,
girl.
yeah.
I think it was two black girls. They adopted them, and then they started doing content, basically treating them like slaves. They had one of the black girls um, put a bag of rice on her head while she's cleaning the house. And then this is not just for content. They were literally making these kids do manual labor around the house. And they also have white kids adopted that aren't doing this shit. They have
Hmm.
the black kids doing this. And then they go, the mom has Grinch finger locks or
Oh no.
dreadlocks because she thinks that she's allowed to do that. Um, and they regularly go to Africa to colonize shit, and they're looking. I think they last I saw they are looking to get more kids. Like they go to Africa to essentially try and snatch kids.
Because that's the thing, like, you can get around a lot of the adoption laws in the US that are already kind of piss poor as it
Hmm.
is. But if you really don't even want to have to do that kind of work, just go to Africa or another country and adopt a kid from there.
Yeah, yeah,
Again, also trafficking. The adoption agency.
yeah. It's and they make it easier for you to adopt kids of color
Mm-hmm.
than adopting, and a lot of these people don't even want to adopt white kids because
No.
they can use those kids for content. They can use those kids to make a buck. I block accounts immediately if I see the white parent, doing all the play with the little black kid, and then I go to the page and it's nothing but content of them. Even if it's them with the child, they're using that child to be like white. It's white saviorism.
That's what it is. It is white saviorism. Like to the fucking T. And
Hmm.
again, trafficking.
Yeah.
I will not stop saying that the line between trafficking and family vlogging is razor thin.
Yeah. And I don't. This is going to ruffle feathers, and I really don't care. I don't think that white people should be adopting black kids, especially considering they don't do the work that is necessary for those black children.
Yeah, remember what
They
we
are
saw
not.
when we went to, what was it? Where did we go? Six Flags, I think. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
That
no.
white
Uh
kid could
huh.
not keep his hands off of his I'm pretty sure that kid was adopted, the little black boy. And we were just sitting
Hmm.
there watching. Like we thought like he
Yeah.
was gonna
Like
drown him in the
almost.
wave
So it
pool.
was. It was what we had gone to, like the
Mm-hmm.
water area, and it was two kids together, and it was like the white kid was. It was almost like the black kid was his pet. He was treating the black kid like a pet.
That's so gross.
Like hands all over him, like at one point putting his head under the water and
No.
stuff. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And there's no adults to be seen. And I'm like, what is going on? Literally treating this black, and the black kid, it almost it felt like he was conditioned to
To just
accept this as,
accept
yeah,
that?
accept it as normal.
Oh
He's just like,
God.
oh no, we're just he's just playing around. The kid
No,
is
that
trying to
kid was
They're
trying
drown
being
to
him.
drown
bullied.
him.
Yeah, trying to drown him.
I I can't with it. I can't. Like, we do not have enough laws in this country to protect children as it is.
Yeah.
And then we just keep creating more ways to exploit children. And like we were saying earlier, like social media has caused child exploitation to skyrocket exponentially to where it's hard to keep up. Like the fact to where people in law enforcement who are trying to protect children can't fucking do it.
Hmm. And it was already a problem, the trafficking of children. But now that ICE is snatching people off the street,
Yeah.
taking the parents, and the kids are just left,
Yeah,
and then we don't hear anything else about those kids. They're gone.
they're gone.
They're being disappeared and trafficked.
That's the thing. Because what's left? The foster system. And we already know what the foster system is.
They literally have auctions.
Yes.
They have auctions for like they will make kids do like runway walks,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll have potential parents out
Yeah.
there, and you have to make a good impression, and they will do auctions for kids.
It's fucking disgusting. And then they just want to continue to take away women's rights to plan families. To where if it's an unwanted child, it could end up in the foster care system.
And again,
or you get criminalized, and then you have kids that end up in the foster care system. And it's just every turn they want kids in the foster system. They want kids exploited.
Because again, it's we're going to advocate for a fetus, but as soon as that child is born, fuck them.
But it's not fuck them. It's how do we exploit this child?
Well, yeah, no, we're gonna exploit them, but also at the same time, you don't get free school lunch.
Yeah, no, we don't want to feed you.
No.
Fuck you.
What do you need free school lunch for? You're a young strapping lad.
Right.
You'll be
despite
fine.
you not consenting to be here,
camera,
it's crazy.
You'll be fine. Breakfast, the most important meal of the day? Bullshit. My study says otherwise.
That's why there are people out there who say there is no ethical family vlogging. Even if there are ones who quote unquote try to do it ethically. I'm thinking of the ones that are like showcasing we're a homosexual couple and we have happy, healthy kids. I'm sorry.
I don't think you should be posting your kids online, period.
You shouldn't be.
Like, I can understand, like a family photo here and there, but I don't even think at this point you should be posting your kids' faces online.
You got, at this point in the age of AI, stop putting your kids' faces on the internet.
I was just about to mention AI.
If it's on there, take it off.
Yeah, because what they're doing now, too, with AI.
I'm glad that I got rid of my TikTok because, like years ago, I would post Javi, or not, I wouldn't post him. He would just be in my videos, or he would be in the background, or what,
because, again, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, he just wants to be involved.
Yeah, but no longer.
It wasn't, no.
Absolutely no. Absolutely
not.
not.
We've had to have that conversation with him of, well, why not? It's not safe.
Yeah, because he'll want to hop in on a video, and I'm like, I would we can do our own version.
We can do our own version
that will be for us, but we're not going to be posting ourselves online. And what is it? There's a new law coming into play. I think it's Australia, where if you're under the age of 16, I think it is, you can't have social media. And all the kids are making videos online about how this is, goes against our rights, and this is going to cripple us. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We did it.
We did it.
We had life before Facebook, life before Instagram.
I want to go back. I don't think about going back in time except to not have social media.
It almost makes you feel like a boomer because back then we played outside.
Back in our day.
We played outside.
But honestly, like with ours, like social media is not fucking happening.
Yeah.
I'll be damned if you actually get a smartphone.
Yeah, you can actually. We can wait until you are out the house before you can create your own social media because it's already toxic as is, and then the other kids in school. You're not focusing on school. You're focusing on
what's happening on
the latest trends and things like that. And that's why a lot of schools are implementing those magnetic lock bags.
Good.
So you go in, as soon as you enter the school, you have to put your phone into one of those magnetic bags. It locks it up, keeps it locked up during the day, and you can unlock it as you're leaving the school. Yeah. And people are trying to say that, what if there's an accident or an incident at the school? They're not going to have access to their phones. That's why we also this is why all of this is intersectional.
Yeah.
Nuance. You need to advocate for common sense gun laws, mental health support. This is why we need healthcare.
Getting fucking cops out of the fucking school, like
all of this stuff is a symptom of capitalism.
It does not stop. And it's just one of those things like kids don't need to be on social media.
Nope.
Yeah, legal adults, fine. You can have your social media. But before that, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
We see study after study. We have seen fucking Meta suppressing data showing how bad it is for kids.
Yeah.
It completely skews their worldview.
Uh-huh.
It skews how they see themselves.
Everything is a trend. is about.
The incel movement is mostly young boys.
Yeah.
The documentary, not the documentary, the miniseries Adolescence on Netflix is a perfect example of this and why it's so bad and pervasive.
Like some of the most wild comments that you will see on social media, like when you're talking about social justice or you're talking about specific, like political topics and stuff, Nazis and whatever, the people who will write those wild ass comments are typically young boys.
Yeah.
It's typically unsupervised young boys, 13, 14.
But yes.
Yeah. No, I was saying unsupervised.
I think you accidentally said supervised.
Oh, well, sorry. But yeah.
Unsupervised
13, 14-year-old boys who are well on their way into that red pill pipeline.
Yeah, because that's who it appeals to. The thing about kids, you and I talked about this the other day. They're inherently contrarian.
Yep.
They are just inherently contrarian. Oh, dad doesn't like this thing. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And it comes right back down to what we were talking about earlier. That's why you cannot be best friends or friends with your kid.
You are not supposed to be friends with them.
They want to be contrarian to everything. That's where you have to step in as an adult and say, that's fine, you can be contrarian, but you're not going to do that under my roof. That's not going to happen in my house. That boundary needs to be set with your child and it needs to be maintained. It's not, oh, well, this can be negotiable because, we're buddy-buddy. Nah, fuck that.
There are certain things that are non-negotiable. That's where gentle parenting versus permissive parenting comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
People often confuse, well, if I negotiate with my child, I'm gentle parenting. No, you're not. There are certain things that are non-negotiable.
Yeah, you can negotiate on what you're going to have for dinner, but when I say you need to be home at a certain time, that's point blank, period.
Yeah.
When I say that, this is something that will not be allowed under my roof, period.
Yeah. I don't give two shits. And that's not to say that that's setting them up to not trust you.
Yeah.
When you enforce those boundaries and you stick to them and you explain to them, this is why I have set the boundary and I'm not changing my mind, that is going to instill trust in them because they know that you're going to stand on business.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, that they're going to think that I'm mean. No. You maintain boundaries with your kids. They understand that you are steadfast in who you are as a person.
Yeah, that you are their rock. You are their anchor. They can go to you.
Yeah. You're going to be the same no matter what. You're not going to flip-flop based on the given situation.
Yeah, like you're not going to, when you are strong in your boundaries with your kid, that instills trust in them.
Right. And
when you're a family vlogger, you're inherently breaking that trust because
nothing is sacred.
Nothing's sacred. There are no boundaries.
Yeah, it's all out there.
How can you sit there and tell? Yeah, how can you sit there and tell your child that they have to stay within certain bounds or certain boundaries when you disrespect their boundaries and show it to the world?
Yeah. Or when you're just on social media, period, and you are wavering to the fucking, the social media pressure.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to what their kids are doing.
Yeah.
That's why we say over and over again, there's no such thing as ethical family vlogging.
Yep.
And then it gets to a point, we didn't even touch on one of the worst ones, the most notorious, which was the Ruby Franke family. And she is going to jail for horrific physical abuse of her kids. All right. And she was one of those, Christian family vloggers and trying to show discipline. And people were sounding the alarm of like, no, this is abuse. She was showing how she was disrespecting her kids' boundaries, where a 5-year-old forgot to bring lunch to school. Lunch was packed, forgot to bring it to school. And she was like, well, he's just going to have to go hungry. And the school is calling, like, can you just send money so we can get him fed? And she's like, nope, it's his responsibility. He's 5.
And it's crazy that it took that much to get her in trouble and convicted.
Yes.
Like all these years of essentially content showing the abuse. And that's
people saying it was abuse.
That's that white privilege will, like, as a black person, it will never make sense to me. Because the second we as Black parents raise our voices
Mm-hmm.
to our children, like this is a situation, a life or death situation, and we
Yeah.
raise our voices to our kids to try and say like this, we're in the moment, in the heat of the moment. Somebody's going to see that and be like, well,
That's abuse.
you know, that's abuse. And
Somebody-
we're getting CPS called us and in trouble
Yes.
for that. But white women on camera have that
perpetuating
abuse.
abuse. The oldest son saying, well, I'm taking your bed away because of some minor trivial shit that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then forcing him to sleep on the floor.
Yep.
This is a whole teenager. A child.
In that same vein, there was, I can't remember the name of the family, but there was a family on YouTube that got banned off of there because that was their whole shtick. The parents would do horrific pranks on their kids.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
They would traumatize the shit out of their kids.
There was a Swoop documentary.
Content.
There was a Swoop documentary on it.
Yeah.
Swoop did a documentary on it, and I remember watching this where, and I mean, they were just intentionally traumatizing their kids, and that's another thing too. They're doing that because it also generates content. It generates clicks.
Yeah.
That's why any family vlogging, you have to disengage from it. You have to block it. That way it can be demonetized.
Mm-hmm. And that's like I'll go to, or I'll see the family vlogging accounts, and you know how when you click on somebody's page, it'll show you your followers or people who follow you.
Yeah.
You know, that are following this account. Got me side-eyeing every time. Because why are you engaging with this?
Why are we engaging
with family vloggers?
The way you're gonna get these family vloggers to stop is if you stop engaging with them. Period.
Wholesale.
Like, not even to call them out. Just stop. Because even calling them out is getting them money. It is getting them clicks. It is getting them views.
Mm-hmm.
It is getting them engagement. Cut the engagement. Full stop. No more of it.
Family vloggers should not receive
family vloggers. I hate them.
I think that's a perfect place to. I think that's a good place to sign off. Yeah, fuck family vloggers.
Fuck.
Any final thoughts, Desiree?
You guys said it all.
Yeah. Fuck family vloggers.
Fuck family vloggers.